before we feed you your free-course wedding breakfast, we do have some speeches to finish off and to start as well. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please show your appreciation for our first speaker this afternoon, a very proud man. He got to walk the daughter down the aisle. I'm going to pass the microphone over to Big Alex.
Anyway, I'll keep this nice and short and sweet, because sometimes I can start to talk too quick and people don't understand what I'm saying, most of the time anyway. So what I did want to do was just... See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I couldn't make you out there. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, what I was going to say was, I was just going to welcome everybody here to Sam and Angela's wedding. I know there's a lot of people, but we'll get talking as the night goes on anyway. And I just hope you have a terrific day anyway. And that's it. I'll just welcome all the guests. And then I'll go in for there. I'll keep it all nice and quick here. I'll go in for there, and I want to welcome Sam's mother and father, Christine and Keith, into our family. And as you can see here, it must be a big day for them coming in with these boys here, you know what I mean? Oh, and them boys doing it, and them there, and all that. It's a big day for people. And I want to just thank them very much for giving us such a nice boy as Sam, who's well-mannered, does everything for Angela. I've got to go. All right. And also, just, I'll go a wee bit further than that, about how proud me and Val are of Angela. It's ever, when I look around me here, it must have been easy for Angela getting on well in Sunderland, because she's not many friends. She's been here, I never had that many friends in my life. And she's got that. That's very good. And I'm not proud of her, and we're not glad that she met all you people, because you've been very good to her. And that's it. So that's basically it. And the reason I'm going to tell a wee story now, and this is why I didn't sort of want to talk too long, because sometimes I can go sort of quick. When we first came to Sunderland, me and Val, we actually thought that Sunderland just went for the royalty to the Lambton Worm and back up. We didn't actually know that there was more to the town than that. But this particular time, I'm sure you all remember the time Steve Bruce was the manager of Sunderland. They were going with a front three of Welbeck, Bent and Guillan. You remember that? So I went to the match. They were playing Man United, but they tore ended up nothing each, but they tore Man United apart. So I met Val in the Lambton Worm after it with a bite to eat and a few drinks. So if you remember the way it is, you go downstairs into the toilet, and I'm just finished washing my hands, and these two guys come in, and they're going, they're going on and on about the match. And I goes, wait, I tell you. So I starts to talk to them. 15 minutes, they never spoke. 15 minutes I talked, telling them who was good, Big John O'Shea. A couple of years later, I'm going like this here. So, if you remember the way it was, you pulled the door open to go out, and it was sort of a slow shutter. So I'll see you boys, but they still never spoke. So anyway, I went out the door, and just as that boy came down the stairs, he opened the door. As he opened the door, I heard one of the guys going, I couldn't understand a bloody word he was saying. So you see that there? Tell me that. I did mean to ask you, see when I said that there, did it sound like somebody from Sunderland? Because you see when I was practising, it kept sounding like Uncle Bryn out of Gavin and Stacey. I swear every time, I said, where do you get that? And it was the same, and I'll tell one more story and that'll do me. It was the same, Angela's first day at university. You see just doing there on the main, in between the Royal and the Lambton Worm, that's the only place we ever were. And anyway, the bus came anyway. So me and Angela had never been apart for the day she was born. That was it. So she got on this bus and I goes, are you bringing her back here? And he sort of stared at me like that. And I goes, are you bringing her back here? Meaning after the day, will you drop her off here? Are you bringing her back here? And the guy just kept stunned. And I went to go forward and I looked at Ange for a wee bit of help. And she had her head buried in between her legs by this time. I said, are you bringing her back here? And the guy shut the doors and drove off. I says, hey, Val, what's wrong with him? She goes, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with you? I said, next thing she goes, oh, Jesus, the police coming. Come on. But anyway, no, I've got another story. This is actually. See, Ange, we were coming out for the weekend anyway, and Ange goes, "Aye, we've got some new wee students in with us, students from China, right?" And she goes, "Aye." She goes, "You know what?" She started to tell me. She says, "You know, rather than us trying to sort of, I'm sure you know this yourself, rather than us try to sort of work with a Chinese name, they take an English name. You know that? You know that? Do you know? Aye." So Ange said, "I already knew that because we knew Chinese people. They sort of take names like, you know, oh, hey, I'm David after David Beckham. You know, like us here, or Mick Jagger after Mick Jagger, you know, like that there, or William Wallace after William Wallace, you know, like that." So anyway, we go up to get Angela anyway. Val said, I said to Val, "You going up and get her up, I'll get into her wee place here and make a cup of tea and have a I was smoking at that time. So I walked in, and there's this wee Chinese boy, and he's standing with a machete. And I'm like this here. I'm staring at the machete. He was doing a wee bit of cooking, but I didn't know that. He's just standing with this machete. I says, "Hey, I'm Big Alec. I'm Angela's father." And he's on it, and he goes, "Barack Obama, pleased to meet you." Hey, you know that there? So anyway, he goes like, I goes, "Aye, all right." Says I, "Me and Val's taking Ange out for a bit of breakfast here. She doesn't start till late." Says I, "Do you want to come with us?" And he goes, and says, "I think you better bring that machete. And you never know. We maybe run into a couple of Newcastle supporters here and we can do them." But anyway, that's that. Oh, no, I can't even look at that sheet. What does it say in that sheet there? What does it say in there? Aye, that's it. Yes, I've got it now. Now mine went away. I just wanted to say, and I'm sure you all remember, but they were actually to get married last year, but because of the pandemic and that, but I'm just that glad that everybody got here. And it's just happy days. So I would ask you to raise a glass and wishing Sam and Angela a very long and happy life. Sam and Angela. But there was something else I wanted to do. I've always wanted to do. I'm 71 years of age, and I'll tell you what I wanted to do. I wanted to go like this. 71, hey, doesn't it go in a blink? Like there. And just on here, and you'll be saying, "What's happening here?" But then you ever see a film called Meet Joe Black? Well, Anthony Hopkins does that, and I says, I always wanted to do that in front of people. So that was me. 71, then it just go in a blink, just on you, and you go, "What's happening to that guy there? What's he doing?" But that was it anyway. Listen, thank you very much. Okay. Well, so what about that, eh?
Big Alec there, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker. Does he need an introduction? He's going to stand up for us now.
How am I meant to follow that exactly? I have no idea. But no, Alex, thank you very much for that speech. I think we can all say we all absolutely loved it and enjoyed that one. For someone who, mine will definitely be shorter and sweeter than that. But I wanted to start the thanks with thanking Alex and Val in particular. A lot of the things that you see here today, they contributed massively towards, so I want a big round of applause for Alex and Val. Thank you. I'm incredibly grateful to have you as in-laws, and you've been so welcoming into the family, so thank you very much. Mum and Dad, you both put up with me for over the years. I'm sure there's probably times you wanted to throttle us, but I hope I've made you proud today. And you can be safe in the knowledge you've steered us on the right path, and me and Ange love and appreciate us both very much. So on behalf of myself and my new wife, thank you all. Thank you all. for taking the time to come today. We really, really appreciate it. And any gifts and contributions and stuff that you have put in, just know that we're really thankful and we really are grateful. I'd like to thank the Ropery as well, and the staff and the videographers and the photographers. You have made our day so much easier just thanks to your contributions, and we're really looking forward to what productions come out of it as well, because we've seen what happens before and we're really thankful for that. And now I'd like to turn everybody's attention to Angela. I'm sure you'll agree, she looks absolutely beautiful today. Ange has put her heart and soul into it today. She has genuinely, this has caused sleepless nights, stress, tears, divorce, everything. Everything's already happened before it. But down to the tiniest little detail, which I would never have even considered, she has put so much thought into all of it. And none of this happens without her dedication. So, Ange, this is amazing what you've done. Honestly, I feel so lucky for you to be my bride. You make me laugh every day. You're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're kind and you're caring. And every time I see you smile, it just makes me smile instantly, straight away. We have come a long way together, and honestly, any challenges that come our way, I know we'll be fine. Me and you'll smash it, no bother whatsoever. So you make me a better version of myself, and I vow to you today to continue to try and justify the faith that you've given us. Honestly, I love you.
I love you.
Can everyone raise a glass to Ange? To Ange. Cheers, missus. Right, that's enough from me. I'm going to now pass it on to my best mate and best man. I just want to thank you for all the efforts you put up with me, arranging the stag and everything. It was amazing. And you've been my best mate for well over 20 years. So everybody, over to Kieran.
Well, to start, I'm looking at my script and I thought I wasn't going to get an introduction. So my first line says that I'll just introduce myself, shall I? So we'll scrap that bit. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And for those that I haven't met, obviously you know my name now. It is Kieran, and of course I have been given the privilege of being Sam's best man for this fantastic day. So thank you so much for that. And to be honest, it is the first time that I've ever been given this opportunity. A privilege of this, of being somebody's best man. And I felt a bit weak at the knees when I was asked. And then I pondered on it a little bit and I thought, am I being a bit soft? And I thought about it some more and I thought, no, allow it to happen. And the majority of you don't know, but I actually speak at funerals for a living. So get buckled in, this is going to become very dour in the next 5 minutes. But yes, we are gathered here today. But to start us off, I would like to thank you all for being here today and for making me my best mate and of course his beautiful bride this day so special for them. And it really is the year of Mr. and Mrs. Williams, and I would like a round of applause to that, please. Should have been last year, but it's this year. But I can see that, looking in the audience today, a lot of you seem very emotional, as if you were at a funeral. And of course, it's tears with happiness. And I seen a few tears from Sam a little bit earlier on as well. And I thought it was because of, the whole of today. But after a little bit of further inspection, it was because the fucking barman gave him the bill. Even the cake was in tears after that one. But like I say, when I was asked to be Sam's best man, I was over the moon. And as Sam's mentioned, I've been his best mate for the best part of 20 odd years. Since us were kids knocking around the streets of Suddock. Some of you might know to come and call it Suddock in a few years' time. But we've grown up together. We've been through loads of battles together. Sometimes we've battled each other. One, of course. But we've studied together. And when I say studied together, he's taught me. And he's taught me all of my life. And I've got loads of respect for you for that, Sam. Tons of respect, mate. We've played sports together. And Sam's always won in that one. We've shared the same circle of friends for years and years and years. And we haven't got a wide circle of friends. But the circle of friends we've got is a very close knit. And I'm so proud of that. And Sam's house was pretty much my house. It always has been. I can see Chris is nodding her head straight away. I lived there, didn't I, Keith? Chris was contemplating us charging rent at one point, weren't you? So in that respect, Sam's pretty much been my brother. He's been my brother for years. He'll always be my brother. But when I first met Sam, we didn't really have anything in common. And if I'm completely honest, I wasn't really impressed. And this was during the 6 weeks holidays. And I was due to start a new school. A new primary school. And one night, my guardians at the time had give us a few quid to head along to the chippy to buy myself some tea. And I seen this little skip rat of a young lad outside the chippy. And for some of you might not know what wally is, but it's pigeon toss or coin toss against a wall. And he went, "Do you want to give him a wally like?" I says, "Go on then, I'm a betting man." I wasn't a man, I was only 10. But I says, "Aye, we'll have a game." And of course, just like Sam does, he wins at every single sport. Every single sport, and wally's not even a sport. But he took me 3 quid off us. And inflation, and as time goes on, that's probably worth a canny bit of money now, like, you know what I mean? But I was devastated. I was devastated. I didn't know him. He was a stranger. And I walked back home and I had to tell me folks at the time that I'd had me tea. Because I was too scared to say that I'd gambled it on a game of Wally with a stranger. But it was one of those things, and it boggled my mind for quite a while, and I was trying to fit in with the community at the time and make some friends, because I was a total stranger to the area at the time. And it got to my first day of school. Brand new jumper, new haircut, bits and bobs. And I walked into my class, and who was there? Him. I was absolutely devastated at this point. And I think you'll all agree there was probably a few shady looks passed backwards and forwards in the class for the next few weeks. Wasn't there, Sam? But looking back over the years, really, looking back over Sam's years, I think it is safe to say, for yous that know Sam, all the years I've knew him, he's never put a hair follicle out of line. Until last night. See, the boys are laughing over there. But Sam, he's always been considered to be the wise one of our group, hasn't he, El? He's always the wise man. The boring one. Never gets pissed. In fact, I got a pen, I need to scratch that bit out. He always seems to be up at the crack of dawn. I could scratch that one out and all. He's the type of lad that probably does his morning stretches at the window and that, you know, and in his little slippers. Goes downstairs now, has a bowl of Albran. But among Sam being wise, he's a very, very understanding man. He's empathetic. He's a great listener. And he is mind. He's an incredible listener. He's a great supporter. And it doesn't matter what corner you're fighting. He's diplomatic. And he'll find a way to support you. He's a hard worker. He's grafted and grafted and grafted since the day I met him. And I don't think Sam's ever painted anybody in a bad light. Ever. Until the day after this speech. But when I was asked to be best man, I wanted to stand here and roast him. I wanted to just absolutely lay right into him, but I cannot do it. Because there's nothing to actually roast him about. Although, it has come to light that many of the lads in here are really disappointed that Ange decides when you get a haircut. By the way, this was literally scientifically designed today, by the way. He had to have a haircut. The exact measurement of time was considered to get that length today. But he's always been well known amongst his family and his friends as being a very bright, intelligent lad. He's took first place, in pretty much everything that he's challenged anybody in. Every single time. Whether it's academically, sports, anything. He's always come first. And he was the type of lad that never needed to study, which I envied. He never put any effort in. He just knew it. He had to look at something once, and he had this amazing ability to just understand things straight away. And I always said, and I'll still say to this day, that one of the things that I'll always peck his head about is that I personally think he should have been a professional footballer. He was absolutely magnificent. I followed a lot of his football. I shadowed him. He trained us, and I still could never play like him. He had an amazing right foot, and he had an absolute signature of a sliding tackle. And you just might see it later. But after speaking with Ange last night, he lacks in stamina. But it is at this point in my speech now where, again, I would like to turn our attention to the gorgeous bridesmaids. And I think you all look absolutely wonderful. You just look absolutely gorgeous. And I want to thank you for really making Sam and Ange's day perfect. All the effort that you have put in alongside Ange. Sam's put zero effort into this, by the way. He's done nought. And whoever's idea it was amongst the bridesmaids for putting all the padlocks on Ange's doors so she couldn't take a runner this morning was absolutely fantastic as well. So well done for that. But there is only one woman in this room today that truly can eclipse our gorgeous bridesmaids. And of course that is our stunning bride, Angela. And I can only imagine how proud your mum and dad are of you right now, your brothers, the rest of your family that's made a huge commitment to come here today to celebrate your special day. And Ange, I think you're an absolute wonderful human being. I really do. You're a wonderful human being. You dedicate yourself to look after other people in times of need. You look after Sam in his times of need. He's got a lot of needs. And I think it is safe to say that you've definitely made my best mate the happiest man in the world today. And of course, to give thanks to Ange's family. And I did have the pleasure of meeting some of them yesterday. And of course, we've catched up again today. Val, little legend. After 10 minutes of meeting her, she was offering us a cup of tea, a Kit Kat. She wanted to do me ironing. And I thought, hold on a minute, you must be getting me confused with your two boys. But massive respect and appreciation for flying in from Ireland to be here for your sister, your daughter. Of course, you wouldn't miss it for the world. And I think you've all scrubbed up canny, by the way, lads. I thought us were going to be a bit of a picture this morning, to be fair. But I think we've turned out just right. The big thanks to the lads as well for coming to the stag do, making Sam's weekend really special. And as many of you might know, we took Sam down to Liverpool and we went to the Aintree Racecourse for the Grand National. And it was a cracking day. It was an absolute cracking day. I mean, us were worse for wear the whole weekend, but I mean, we couldn't pick our nose, never mind a winner. But a massive amount of respect to me mate Elliot. He missed every single race of the Grand National because he was too busy stood at the bar trying to get himself a pint. And he didn't just come back with a pint, he come back with 17 pints. There was only 5 of us there. But anyway, I did want to try and keep this short and sweet. And now, like you mentioned 71 earlier on, you're looking good for 71, mate. Sam looked 78 this morning. But Sam, I'm so proud of you, mate. I've always thought that you were punching. But today, you've landed an absolute knockout, son. So on that note, I think yous look fantastic together. You'll continue to be magnificent together. You've got so many adventures, exciting things waiting to happen. The world is now your oyster. So ladies and gents, if you wouldn't mind, please be upstanding. Raise your glass to Mr. and Mrs. Williams. Thank you.